Hey guys, welcome to Acne Clear Chef. My name is Thomas Grabowski, and today I want to show you how you can make your very own post-workout smoothie. So for those of you familiar with the YouTube channel, all my recipes are designed to help you clear up your skin from the inside out using gluten, dairy, egg, corn, and soy-free recipes. And I know some of you may or may not be active, but if you are, I'd strongly recommend you try out the smoothie. This is something that I'm going to make for myself right now, just after a workout. And for some reason, I got inspired to really put this together. And this is really kind of a spontaneous recipe. I have not made this one before. So I'm going to whip it out together. I have a feeling it's going to be really good. I have some ideas. We may have to play with some of the ratios. But again, this is going to be a high concentrated, very nutrient-dense berry smoothie. So I don't really have a name for this, but I guess it would be a very berry tart cherry smoothie. That's what I would call this recipe today. So with that being said, let's dive into the recipe and let's get blending and let's start making some delicious smoothies. Okay, so for this recipe, you obviously need a blender of some sorts, right? So I'm using a Vitamix here today. I've been using this blender for probably over 10 years now, and it's still like working exactly the same the first day I got it. This isn't a endorsement by any way, so it's just a very good blender. So let's dive into the recipe here. So we're gonna have some ingredients here. So the first ingredient I'm using here is frozen berries. So I'm using an organic berry and cherry mix. So I have some cherries, blueberries, and frozen blackberries. The next ingredient I have here is frozen sliced strawberries. You can actually get these at Costco, and these were on sale. So really great deal. It was about $12, $12.50 for 2 kilos of sliced organic raspberries. That is such a good bargain. Usually it's probably over $20 for and this is all in Canadian currency, by the way. So that's still a really great deal. I'm also going to be using one banana. I'm using an organic banana. I also have some almond milk for my base, so we're going to be using that. Again, I'm going to be using some brown rice protein powder. So typically, if you want to be on an acne clear diet, I recommend avoiding gluten, dairy, eggs, corn, and soy because they're very inflammatory on the gut and they can be reflective in the skin, especially dairy and gluten. So I'm using an organic sprouted brown rice protein powder. Now, this isn't the best protein powder in the world, but it's something that I'm going to use since, you know, I just finished a workout, so I'm going to add a little bit of protein into my smoothie. And generally speaking, you want to have protein with each and every single one of your meals. You know, it's not just good for your skin, but it's also great for building muscle, keeping you full longer, giving you energy from the long run. Next ingredient I'm going to use is organic pure tart cherry extract. So this is going to actually add a little bit more of a cherry flavor to the smoothie. This is kind of what really brought on this recipe. I wanted something that was berry, but I wanted a little bit of tartness. So I'm going to add some organic pure tart cherry juice to this recipe as well. If you have it available, I would recommend unpasteurized organic and raw tart cherry extract. And for some extra toppings, for some extra protein, and for some extra fats, vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff that's awesome for your skin, we're going to be using some organic baby spinach. And I'm also going to be using about 1.5 tablespoons of organic hemp hearts. Okay, so obviously making a smoothie is fairly simple and straightforward. So this is just my variation, my mix, and this is what I'm craving today. And this is what I'm going to make. And honestly, there's no set rule for making a smoothie. Just kind of make it as you feel and have fun, experiment. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it doesn't turn out the best. But, you know, you play around, experiment. This is all about having fun and not taking yourself so seriously. Life is meant to be fun, and I feel like we just take it way too seriously. So this is my way of enjoying myself, and not only that, but also creating a delicious recipe for myself that my body, I know, will love. Okay, so I added just about 1 cup of frozen mixed berries. So that's the cherries, blackberries, and blueberries. Next, I'm probably going to add like 1/4 cup of sliced strawberries. I want a lot of these mixed berries in here. This is going to be a very berry smoothie, right? Very berry tart cherry smoothie. So I'm adding about 1/4 cup. Again, I'm kind of eyeballing it here. Again, this smoothie will probably be at least 1 to 2 servings. I usually make a very large smoothie, and I usually have leftovers. So if you do have any leftovers, you can put it in a glass container where it can be nicely tightly stored. You want to use glass since it's a lot better for you. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to be adding 1 organic banana here. I'm just using a medium-sized banana, nothing too crazy. Again, I have like a lot of fruit in here, so this is going to be a very like fruity smoothie, right? Now, simply, I'm just going to add some organic almond milk here. I'm using unsweetened almond milk. So you can always use vanilla as well, but I prefer unsweetened. It's just kind of a neutral flavor. It doesn't really have too much of that vanilla flavor to it. And this looks like about 2 cups here. So I'm pouring about 2 cups of unsweetened almond milk as well. Okay, so once you added your unsweetened almond milk, what I'm going to do here is now I have this delicious pure Tart cherry juice. And I'm just going to add a little bit, not much, maybe like a 1/4 cup. So again, I just added about a splash. You know, it hasn't been much. I maybe even say like 1 or 2 tablespoons. If you have an unpasteurized organic Tart cherry juice and you have the extract, which is very, very beneficial, I would add 1 or 2 tablespoons. Again, it's highly concentrated with antioxidant, which is amazing for your health. And it's going to be really, really good for your skin. So we're going to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to add some organic brown rice protein powder to the smoothie. I'm going to add about 2 to 3 large heaping tablespoons. Probably. So I did about 2.5 large tablespoons, probably closer to 3. So that gives me about 17 grams of protein. But again, I'm just kind of eyeballing here. Next, I'm going to add some healthy fats. Again, I'm going to be using some organic hemp hearts. So I'm going to use about a tablespoon, maybe like a teaspoon. I'm not going to add much. That should be okay. I don't want too many fats with this. It's just kind of like a little bit of a extra nutrition profile that I'm adding to this smoothie. And last but not least, I'm going to use some organic spinach. Again, this I'm going to be pretty generous with. I'm probably going to add about 1 to 2 handfuls here. Again, this is going to be also those antioxidants, which is going to help with recovery. It's going to help with, blood flow. So nitric oxide is very potent in spinach. So it's really, really good at, bringing a lot of nutrition and blood to the skin. So that's really going to be good at giving you that natural glow from the inside out. Okay. So just going to slap on the lid and we're going to blend this until it is smooth. So I blended the smoothie for about 2 minutes here. I got a nice smoothie now. All right, and now this is the moment of truth because I don't know if this is going to taste good or not, but let's give it a try. Wow, that's actually really good. It's got a little bit of chalkiness from the brown rice protein powder, which is to be expected. It doesn't have much flavor. But overall, it's got a really nice cherry tones and there's a lot of berries in there. So that's exactly what I kind of wanted. And I find the Tart cherry juice really added a nice sweetness to it, a little bit of tartness. So I would definitely recommend this smoothie if you want to be a healthy person. I'm drinking this myself. I value being a healthy individual. And if it wasn't for my horrible experience with acne, I wouldn't be actually making these videos today because it wasn't until I actually started to cut gluten, cut dairy, and cut all of the crap out of my diet and started adding real organic, nutrient-dense whole foods into my diet where I started to see a difference in my skin, my energy, and so much more. And if you guys want to learn more about the Acne Clear Chef, I have a cookbook available now on Amazon. It's called the Acne Clear Cookbook. I recommend you check it out. And I also have a community that I just created called the Acne Clear Lifestylers, which is available on School. So if you want to be a member, feel free to join that. It's a really great platform where you can talk with other like-minded people, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of health tips and tricks, and obviously my recipes on there as well, that can help you get to the right path towards living and leading a healthy acne clear lifestyle. So if you guys like seeing videos like this, feel free to like and subscribe, and I really appreciate you, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.